Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Jennifer Morrissey. First I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Jennifer Lynn Morrissey was born on February 6, 1984, and lived near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After completing the 9th grade, she dropped out of high school. Jennifer found work as a mechanic at a motorcycle shop. She also worked as a clothing challenge dancer at Club Risque in Bristol Township. In 2010, Jennifer was charged with failing to vaccinate a pet, but her legal problems would become far more extensive. She was addicted to heroin. In 2012, 28-year-old Jennifer met a 59-year-old man named Michael Dennis McNew at the club where she worked, and the couple became romantically involved. Michael was one of her customers. He had been raised in Hagerstown, Maryland. He graduated from high school in 1970, 14 years before Jennifer was born. After college in West Virginia, he held multiple positions in pharmaceutical sales. He married and had 2 children, but eventually divorced. In the early 2000s, Michael moved to Washington Crossing, Pennsylvania, which is about 34 miles north of Philadelphia. He lived in a 2,700 square foot house at 1050 River Road. From his house, Michael could see New Jersey. It was less than 1,000 feet away across the Delaware River. His back window was like a large screen TV, always playing a horror movie. The romance between Jennifer and Michael was based on a financial compensation model. Michael became Jennifer's sugar daddy. The transfer of funds did not make the relationship stable. It was tumultuous and on again, off again. In 2013, Jennifer was charged with driving with a revoked or suspended license. In 2014, she was arrested for a drug-related offense. In January 2015, Jennifer and her infant son moved into Michael's house on River Road. This was after her stepfather and her sister died in the same week. In the same year, 2015, Jennifer was charged in connection with a hit-and-run collision involving a bicycle. In 2016, she was sentenced to house arrest. Consistent with the sugar daddy relationship, Michael paid many of Jennifer's bills, including court-imposed fees from her criminal cases. These fees added up to $4,000 a month. Despite Michael taking care of Jennifer financially, giving her housing, and supplying her vehicles, she maintained an interest in other men. In early 2017, Michael became angry with Jennifer because she would disappear for hours and offer no explanation. Eventually, Jennifer became engaged to a career criminal named Charles Culo. He was a legendary tough guy in the area who went by the nickname Ruthless. This engagement was a little awkward for Michael, considering how Jennifer still lived in his house, and he was funding her lifestyle. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On Tuesday, August 8, 2017, not long after 6 p.m., one of Michael McNew's coworkers, named Mary Ann Shockley, and her daughter Amber, went to Michael's house on River Road because they were concerned. They had not heard from him for 2 days. After entering the house through the unlocked front door, they went upstairs and found him dead, sitting in a chair. Mary called 911. Here is what the police found during the course of their investigation. 64-year-old Michael McNew had been killed by a single gunshot wound to the head. He had been shot between the eyes with a semi-automatic pistol chambered in .380 ACP. The distance between the weapon and his head at the time of the discharge was 1 inch at the most. A spent .380 case was found next to the chair that Michael was sitting in. The police learned that Michael had 3 firearms registered in his name: a Smith & Wesson pistol chambered in .380 ACP, a pistol chambered in .22 long rifle, and a rifle. They found the .22 and the rifle, but the .380 was missing. There was an empty holster on Michael's nightstand, which appeared to be the correct size for a .380. The last time anyone communicated with Michael was on Sunday, August 6, 2017, at about 5 p.m. The police believe that Michael was killed that same day as he was sleeping in his chair. Nothing in the house appeared to be disturbed, but there was some evidence of a robbery. For example, Michael's watch, cell phone, and laptop were missing, and his pockets were turned inside out, as if somebody was looking for something to steal. Even so, the police wondered how the perpetrator would have gained access to Michael's own gun to use it in the murder, and why they left behind expensive artwork and the 2 other firearms. There were boxes of women's clothing in the house, as well as photographs of a woman, so the police suspected that Michael had a girlfriend. Neighbors, friends, and family members identified Michael's girlfriend as Jennifer Lynn Morrissey. She became the obvious suspect. 2 days later, on August 10, 2017, Jennifer contacted the police and said she was calling about something she saw on the news. They set up an interview for the next day, but Jennifer never showed up. On August 25, Jennifer Morrissey was arrested on a violation of probation charge. Examination of her cell phone data indicated that the phone connected to cell phone towers near Michael's house on August 6 at 9:34 p.m. 3 minutes later, her phone connected to Michael's wireless router inside his house. On her phone, the police recovered deleted chat files from the day of the murder. It appeared as though Jennifer and Michael had been arguing. Michael was upset because Jennifer was having a romantic relationship with her fiancé, Charles. He informed Jennifer that he would contact the FBI and share information that would put Charles in prison for the rest of his life. Furthermore, he told Jennifer that she was not welcome in his house and he was putting her belongings in storage. If she tried to set foot on his property again, he would defend himself. Jennifer did not appear to be frightened by Michael. She said, "Get the gun ready because I'm coming. I already told you that I'll be there tonight. Guess you're just going to have to shoot me. I'm going to stab you." Jennifer also said that she would cut him like she was field dressing a blanking deer. Toward the end of the conversation, Michael was trying to win Jennifer back. He told her that he would give her one more chance. The last message he sent to her was, "Jennifer, I love you to death." Michael's phone left his house at 1 a.m., now on August 7, and connected to towers in Yardley, near the Delaware River, at 1:34 a.m. The police believe that Jennifer murdered Michael after the contentious exchange of messages. She then took some of his property to make it look like a robbery and threw his cell phone in the Delaware River. Jennifer told the police that she had not lived with Michael since July and did not know anything about his death. She suspected that her fiancé Charles may have been the killer. The police spoke to Charles. He denied any involvement. He said that Jennifer came home and told him that she might have killed Michael. She claimed that she had been in a fight with Michael and his gun went off accidentally. Charles was on parole at this time and did not want to get involved. He sent a friend of his named Jerry back to Michael's house with Jennifer to check things out. Jerry also spoke to the police. He said that he observed Jennifer taking Michael's watch off his wrist. The police believed that Charles and Jerry were telling them the truth. They were not charged with any crime. Jennifer, however, would not be as fortunate. On September 17, 2017, she was charged with criminal homicide and other offenses. Her trial started on January 22, 2019. In a move that surprised just about everyone in court, Jennifer testified in her own defense. Here's the story that she supplied about what happened on the night of August 6, 2017. Jennifer went to Michael's house to pick up her belongings. Michael was intoxicated, and he had his .380 pistol in his hand. Jennifer swatted the pistol out of his hand and grabbed it. She was desperately trying to unload the magazine when Michael lunged at her. During the struggle, the gun discharged, and the bullet just happened to strike Michael between the eyes, killing him. Jennifer's narrative was a little confusing because she claimed the gun discharged unintentionally, but also said that she killed Michael in self-defense. If she fired in self-defense, then the gun would have been discharged intentionally, not unintentionally. After the accidental or deliberate shooting, Jennifer fled the house only to return a few hours later. She staged the scene to make it look like a robbery. A few hours after the killing, Jennifer sent Michael a text message saying she wasn't going to visit him that day after all. The next day, she sent him a Facebook message about an upcoming medical appointment. Jennifer was trying to make it seem as though she had no idea that Michael had been shot to death. On February 1, 2019, Jennifer Morrissey was found guilty of first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and possession of an instrument of crime. On March 1 of that year, she was sentenced to a term of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Her fiancé, Charles, who again was not charged in connection with Michael's death, ended up going to prison anyway. He was sentenced to 17 to 34 years for third-degree murder in an unrelated case. Now moving to my analysis. Jennifer Morrissey maintains her innocence, and amazingly, there are some people who believe her. They argue that she was not capable of being violent. The state of Pennsylvania, of course, disagrees. They argue that neither story provided by Jennifer makes any sense. The killing was not an accident, and it was not self-defense. This brings me to the question, was Jennifer guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea she was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. Jennifer had an extensive criminal history and was addicted to heroin. Michael functioned as Jennifer's sugar daddy, which is a relationship model based on manipulation and exploitation. Jennifer enjoyed the finer things in life with Michael's money. If she were to be cut off by him, she could say goodbye to that easy lifestyle. On the day of Michael's death, he said that he would supply information about Jennifer's fiancé Charles to law enforcement, and he threatened to end his relationship with her, including the financial support. This gave Jennifer a couple of reasons to commit murder. During the conversation, Jennifer threatened to murder Michael. She used graphic terminology to describe what she would do. The pistol that killed Michael was fired no more than an inch from his head. This undermines both versions of Jennifer's story, the accident and the self-defense. Instead of immediately calling 911, Jennifer left the house after Michael had been shot. She later returned and staged the scene to make it look like a robbery. Her DNA was found on the inside of Michael's pockets. If the shooting was really an accident or self-defense, why didn't Jennifer simply contact the authorities? Now moving to the exculpatory factors, Jennifer's defense portrayed Michael as a monster who was manipulating and controlling her. For instance, he allegedly bought her heroin while telling her she needed to discontinue her use. In the exchange of messages where Jennifer threatened to commit murder, Michael indicated that he was willing to make up with her. Presumably, this meant that he wouldn't be contacting the FBI about Charles, kicking Jennifer out of the house, or cutting off her money. Jennifer would be much better off financially if she did not murder Michael. He was more valuable to her alive. Even if Michael did plan on breaking up with Jennifer, murder still didn't make any sense. Jennifer would not gain anything by killing him. She was going to lose her lifestyle one way or the other. The weapon that was used to kill Michael was his. It came from a holster on his nightstand. This supports Jennifer's assertion that Michael is the one who produced the weapon. Maybe he really did threaten Jennifer, and she acted to defend herself. Jennifer may have come up with the accident story simply because lying was second nature to her. She spent her whole life being deceptive, and that habit was hard to break. When considering all the evidence in this case, do I believe that Jennifer is guilty of murder? Yes, in my opinion, she is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Jennifer Morrissey was self-centered, impulsive, irresponsible, sensation-seeking, cold, callous, immature, manipulative, deceptive, angry, antagonistic, violent, unsophisticated, had a sense of entitlement, and was moderately creepy. She claimed that when she was younger, she was mistreated by her mother's boyfriends in horrible ways. Jennifer dropped out of school and started a life of crime, which included using heroin. She felt very comfortable around men with poor judgment and became skilled at manipulating them. When she encountered Michael McNew, they both realized they could use each other to meet their needs. Jennifer wanted money, and Michael wanted sex. Through the sugar daddy arrangement, they essentially found a way to sidestep laws against prostitution. Even though they were both gaining something they desired, Michael was the needier of the two. Michael's daughter did not approve of Jennifer, possibly because Jennifer was extremely rough around the edges and undesirable in just about every way. When his daughter was preparing to get married, she would not invite Jennifer, so Michael did not come to the wedding. He allowed his relationship with Jennifer to interfere with family relationships. Michael maintained a few friendships, but some of those friends described Jennifer as trashy. Eventually, even though Michael was providing her a good life, Jennifer wanted more. Michael took care of the financial side, but she wanted a bad boy lover. This is how she ended up with Charles, the career criminal. The arrangement maintained what Jennifer did not allow room for Charles. Michael was not happy about it. When he made threats, Jennifer responded by murdering him. The evidence didn't leave Jennifer's defense many options. Her attorney told the jury that Michael lavished Jennifer with countless gifts, including a car and motorcycle that he insisted on keeping in his name in an effort to control her. The tactic here was to convince the jury that Michael was a monster, but the jury probably interpreted that statement as impugning Jennifer's character. I doubt they were saying to themselves, wait, this guy allowed the defendant to use a car and a motorcycle, but kept them in his name? What a monster. We must vote not guilty. Now moving to my final thoughts. Michael took his chances by getting involved with somebody like Jennifer. There were many red flags. For example, Jennifer was a clothing challenge dancer. She was willing to take money in exchange for sex. And she allegedly failed to vaccinate a pet. To Jennifer, Michael was just a resource to exploit. But to Michael, the arrangement had more significance. He believed that he truly loved Jennifer, even though he was paying her to be with him. His last message to her, "Jennifer, I love you to death," captured Michael's absurdity, his devotion, and his destiny with stunning accuracy. Those are my thoughts in the case of Jennifer Morrissey. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.